like I've said before, I started writing to John Merritt in 2010, and what I would write to him about is all of these wondrous things that I had noticed happening all my life. And so to have somebody like him, who was a poet at heart, I thought that he could connect with those things, and it seemed to entertain him. So I like to write about things like that. And so one of the first things that I wrote to him about is how my name is in Jacob's prophecy in the Hebrew Bible in Genesis 49:10. And so I kind of made light of it because he said he was looking for the Joshua tree of vaginas. And I said, is that Joshua tree enough for you? So this Jacob's prophecy, my name, my first and last name are in this prophecy, and my birth date, and my name in my birth date, or birth date in my name. The goddess Io, my place of birth, Ohio. It's incredibly uncanny that it's just like those things can't happen. You can't have all of that in a prophecy in Genesis in the Bible, in the Hebrew Bible. And so I write about mythology and literature and art. And also I don't just write about religion, but definitely religion plays into it. So in 2018, then I went ahead and published a lot of the super connections that I had made in all my research over the years. And I made this into a tapestry and published it in 2018 along with my books, Coyote Weaves a Song and My Love Affair with Moonbeam. So it's called the Until Shiloh Comes Cosmic Flow Tapestry. And the reason that I made it a tapestry is because of Penelope in the Homeric epics. And a tapestry is able to show the weave of all things. It's able to show the interconnectedness. And it's also a reference to poetry itself and how life operates like poetry itself. You have the weave of poetry is like the weave of life. And Penelope, who looks peripheral to the epics, is here comes the thunder, is actually weaving the entire time. And it's a reference to the song itself, to the bard, what the bard is doing by singing a song that's been woven together over many centuries. And so it's a reference to music and song, and that's why Coyote Weaves a Song is called that. Coyote refers to the trickster, the Hermes, which Homer proves himself to be, just as Odysseus and Athena, and ultimately also Penelope. So I published this tapestry in 2018 to show this interconnectedness. So I hung it up here on this stone wall because it reminds me of the caves that I write about from the south of France. And so when I study literature and mythology and the artwork, I found a path coming through of this, how there is an interconnectedness of the artist at work that was revealing this Hermes through this lineage from these cave paintings, from the shamans in the cave paintings, through Homer, through Egypt, and through Italy, through Michelangelo, and the Italian Renaissance, and so there was an astounding path. So this is, obviously there was an overall purpose to, instead of writing linearly in a book, then I could show the interconnectedness of the things. So it starts in the middle, and it starts on my name and my birth date because of Jacob's prophecy, and then as it moves up, it goes to the Sistine ceiling, which is also a revelation of that prophecy, but also a prophecy in itself. Michelangelo is saying it's coming true right here, and it also is something that will unfold. So it moves up into the Sistine ceiling, and it moves over here into the Garden of Eden, and over here to Chauvet Caves at the Ardèche in the south of France. And that makes the jump to the Grateful Dead, and so this section over here is the Grateful Dead. And this comes out of Hermes, the always on the road, the trickster always on the road, and you come to Terrapin Station. So this comes down to Krishna and John Mayer. And so these are wondrous things that I've been writing to him for years about. And I think inspiring but entertaining, because I do find the magic in it. And so over here is the persona that Taylor Swift has been presenting to the public. Most people don't realize that this girl went from this "You Belong to Me" video, with me video, of looking out this window, and John points this out in his Shot in the Dark video. A person as an onlooker, and that's why I'm saying there's no visionary there's no writer there. She's looking at other people and writing it down, and poorly. I don't let it get to me all the way through. I'm very much dedicated to being centered in stillness. But when writers say, "Oh, she's at the peak of her power," yes, she's doing a real lousy job of taking some brilliant things and making them pretty ugly. So this is the persona that she started presenting to the public, stealing from John and stealing from me, Lana Del Rey, Kanye, just absolutely replicating, and nobody, I mean, they sometimes say it, but then it just, oh, whatever, it's just a rich white girl, and can, we just agree and move on. It's not a crime if it's white. And so this kind of set Taylor off in 2018. She was already very much over the edge in plagiarizing everything that I write. So I had kind of hoped in 2018 that I could get enough publicity to where it couldn't be plagiarized. But I still held back. Because well, there are reasons, but I held back because you really do wait on the world to change, where somebody can hear you. So up on this upper part is where I had first published for the first time about my dad's album, the album that he made in the early 70s when I was a little girl, and it has the face of Jesus on it. And I relate that to you have 0 AD, the birth of Christ, but 850 plus years before, you have Odysseus. And people would say, no, Odysseus is a trickster and Jesus is not. But they're very closely related mythology. Just for example, you have Jesus clearing the temple. Well, you have Odysseus clearing the dining hall. Same thing, And so there are elements of that mythology that play in together. Whether or not Odysseus was a real person or a poet talking about himself, which I write that in Coyote Weaves a Song. Homer is using Odysseus to show the weave of the poetry. So in 2018, I first published about my dad's album, and so the plagiarism became, and the persona that Taylor Swift presented to the public at that point was that she had the same magical history. She had an opera singer grandmother. And so when you listen to my dad's album, you can hear where she came up with that idea of an opera singer. But she also said that this opera singer grandmother was from Mexico, and that is where I had filmed Apocalypse of the Heart in 2012 to try to expose the false persona that she was presenting back then. This opera singer came from where I had filmed Apocalypse of the Heart, and then this year, she's still plagiarizing that screenplay by going to Tribeca Film Festival using a guitar like mine, the only one that I have, and also that was written into the screenplay is this girl born with wings going to Tribeca Film Festival, and her creation comes out there. And so still to this day she's plagiarizing what I did in 2010. It's incessant and it's obsessive, and it's all based on her lies, and I can prove every single element of it. It just takes a while to go through all of it. So I am showing, if I show the basis of the lies, I believe that people can start to see through what a hoax it is.
My grandfather, dad, and brother are all named Rollin, an old German name. My grandfather was born in 22, my dad in 44, and my brother in 66, and then John Mayer was born in 77. The cover of my dad's album is the face of Jesus called The Agony, and it looks like a combination of Michelangelo's portrait and the face of Jesus of his Pieta.
In honor of this today, to make it blessed, instead of only showing the copyright infringement and the plagiarism and the false persona, the lies, I'm going to release one of my dad's songs on YouTube with a visualizer. There is a river, and this is special to me because of the flow that keeps going. The river in Jerusalem, in ancient Jerusalem, is Shiloah, and so this is for my dad who passed in 2019. You'll get to hear his beautiful voice, but also it goes with this incredible flow that comes through John and what John and Bob did last night in Paradise Valley.